Hi, welcome back to the channel. So about 2 years ago I made a video on this Mackie 802 VLZ3, just cleaning all the dials and push buttons. Hopefully that's helped a lot of people out, but so it's been going well for about almost 2 years. Today I want to see if I can remedy some of the dust issues. I'm specifically trying to find a way to stop the dust from getting in. Always hard to prevent dust, but if you look around at the board, when I open this up, you can see that most places there's no dust. The dust really is accumulating around the buttons that I use the most. That's usually what happens. So when I press a button, the button goes down, the dust is on there. Over time, when you're doing that, the dust just gets compressed and goes down into the button or into the dial. Further, see what else we could do to prevent dust. My theory is maybe if I can laser cut some small felt pieces or something. So I mean, I'm not sure if that's going to work. It's always going to be an issue with any of this equipment. You know, dust is just part of the game. But I think for the most part we can prevent more dust from getting into these dials and push buttons. So you can see on this particular mixer, the one that I use the most, I've got tape, which is actually my computer runs back in here, and then I've got assigned to main mix. Those two buttons are the ones that I use primarily, and they're the ones that are always scratchy. You've got the sub mix here. This one's always scratchy because this one actually controls the volume. The main mix has got a little bit of crackling. I don't use it that much. That's just every now and again I'll touch that one. But I feel like, yeah, those two and these two, the buttons I use the most, they're the ones that seem to be getting a lot of the dust. I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? When you have all the dust accumulating and then you're touching stuff and then the dust is falling down into this clearance that's around the dial stem here, or in this circumstance on the push button, you've got movement here on that button you can see, and there's a clearance around there. So it's definitely getting in through there. So what I want to do is I want to open this up and I want to just take a look at this top cover and see if there's a way that maybe I can figure out putting something that's sort of like maybe that you see on the faders. I don't have any faders on this particular one, but you notice on each side of the fader they have a, like, it can sometimes be rubber or it can be some sort of flexible material that catches a lot of the dust, and that prevents the fader from, you know, getting a lot of the dust onto the actual fader rail. And this is the thing, because it's like you've got to take off a lot of stuff off this mixer to get this thing apart. So I mean, if we can do something about that in any way, shape or form, you know, we've got to try it and see how it goes. And so I haven't seen any other videos about doing this type of thing. I was actually thinking of also 3D printing some little inserts that go into the jacks, or the TRS jacks that aren't used, to stop dust from going in there as well. Seal as much of the top unit as I can to prevent any dust going in there. I'll be doing the same thing again. I'll be using the circuit cleaner to flush it all out, and then of course I'm just going to blow it out. If you want to see how to open this particular mixer, you can check out the first video. So I'm going to skip through all that so we can just get to the point where we're opening it up. It's crazy how close some of these connections are. Worries me sometimes. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. They just scattered these everywhere. There's literally 25 bolts in this front panel to pull off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. I think I said in the last video, when you do those up, don't do them up very tight, because yeah, once you round one of those, it's really hard to get off. The two RCA jacks, or two pairs of RCA jacks, those ones sometimes can get a little bit scratchy. So what I use here, if you've got some airbrush cleaning tools, you can get these off eBay. Basically just really small cylindrical brushes. And I'll just put a little bit of circuit cleaner in here, and then what I do is I just put that down into the RCA jacks, because you can't get the cotton buds down through there. The majority of the problems always come down to these push buttons. So these come off, these little covers, they're on top. So this is the button. I've got a little, I think this is a 15 by magnification. So just going to have a look around here. I'm going to get a little bit of circuit cleaner on the cotton bud here and just go around the outside here, because I just want to see what we've got here. So you can already see, hopefully that's coming up on the camera, but look at the dirt that's actually come up on here. So the cover comes to here, the dirt gets stuck on that white stuff here, pushing it down. I feel like there's dust that's accumulating down on this black section here of the button, and then probably going inside the actual push button. This is what I think is what's happening. So what I'm going to do is run this cotton bud around the black top section of this push button. Okay, so let's zoom in. You can see here this black plastic top piece, and there is a little bit of dust on there. You can see this is mostly sealed here, so the dust is probably getting through this little groove section here. There's one on the other side. No, it seems to be just on this side. It looks fairly sealed at the bottom where the circuit board is. I really wish I could have a look inside that plastic section there. It can't really take that off, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go through the process again with some cleaning solvent. I'm just going to use a little toothbrush for this one, and then blow it out. I'm going to hit it again, just press the button a few times, blow it out. I'm just going to take a cotton bud here, just going to wipe all around here. I'm going to do this for this other one here too. So there seems to be a lot of dust accumulating all around the dials. So I'm guessing that it's that little bit of clearance around that dial, little bit of clearance around that button, and that's where the dust is getting through. I can't really see any dust that's coming up around on the board, which is around the outside edge. So it's pretty sealed on that side of things. And then I'm going to go to this one, this one, and this one. I'm going to clean these three pots out. These are the ones I use all the time as well. I'm not really going to worry so much about the rest of the stuff here, although because there is signals coming through here, that can affect it as well. So I would suggest cleaning out all these other potentiometers here as well. So the whole point of this video really wasn't to just show me cleaning it all again, because that was sort of discussed in the first video. The plan really was to see if we could make something to prevent the dust from going in through the clearance. What I want to do is create some little, I guess, felt. I've got some felt somewhere that I can just put around on this top of this black pillar here. Basically I'll go around that white stem, and then I can put this on top, so like that, and then that piece will be underneath. I need a thin piece, but I'm figuring that might actually stop the dust from getting down inside the stem. So let's see what I can come up with. I've got a laser cutter, so I'm going to go and see if I can cut a tiny piece of fabric. Okay, so here's a little bit of felt that I've cut, just enough to go around the outside of the stem, and then a little bit of a cut I've made just that fits into that section that's cut out on the stem as well, just to cover that up a little bit. Then I can do is actually just put the switch back on top just like that. Doesn't matter if it moves up and down, and this will be down most of the time anyhow, so the button should push it down. So I guess any of the dust that's going to come through here is just going to go onto that felt piece there. So it will be interesting to come back in another 2 years to see if it's accumulated any dust. I'm going to go through and just do the other two here, and then I'm going to do this bigger one as well. So in terms of the potentiometers here, you could put something just around the ring section here at the bottom. So when you put the cover back on top here, it should protect dust that falls down through that clearance. And hopefully that'll prolong the mixer from getting dust in there and being scratchy for a bit longer. So there's a look at the felt covers that I've made here. Now you could also, my original idea was to actually put the felt covers underneath here. So I was actually going to put them where the cutouts are. So if you wanted to, you could do something like they have on the faders and just have a piece there with a split in the middle, which may actually work better than what I've done here. So if you don't want to go to the trouble of just making all these type of things, put something underneath the top cover. I just had the idea for it because I had to open this up again to clean it, and I wanted to take it a step further. So just by doing this, it may work, it may not work. I'm not 100% sure. We'll check back in another 2 years and see what the situation is. But hopefully this video has maybe given you some ideas of what you can do maybe to prevent the dust from getting into your mixer, because it really is a pain to be opening these things up every 6 months, especially with all the knobs and everything you've got to take off and the screws. The less that you have to actually get in here, the better it is. So I've got the buttons back on. I'm just going to put this thing back together. So that's pretty much it for this video, just to revisit the mixer again, give it a clean out with a few little extra touches this time. So anyhow, I'll see you again on the next project.